Hey guys, I am back again, and it's been a bit since I even got to making any like proper toy reviews or videos. I mean, the last video I've obviously uploaded on this channel was obviously a video about the upcoming 4K release of Deep Blue Sea, but not gonna talk about that because I've already talked about it beforehand. Right now, since this year is officially starting the 30th anniversary of one of my absolute favorite Batman movies of all time, Batman Forever, it is finally time to start breaking out some more toy reviews based on this movie. So, I obviously stormed to Target just to go get these figures. Now, if this is all I've gotten so far, I haven't gotten them all, but this is all I got so far. And that is, of course, the DC Retro Collection Batman Forever Batmobile. And I also got Batman and Riddler. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Like, seriously, this is one of the most exciting things Spin Masters has ever done. I mean, sure, I was still expecting a more 4-inch in-scale movie accurate style action figures based on this movie, but this, without a doubt, is still pretty damn cool. Like, really, I'm very excited to take a look at this. Also, again, I like the packaging design. It's definitely a lot more smaller than the original Kenner package because, of course, the Kenner packages were a lot bigger, and I can actually prove that because I've already done videos based on that with the figures in their package, or some of them, not all of them, that I've actually collected over the time. Again, it was still very convenient that I actually started buying the Batman Forever figures last year, or at least a little bit more of those. And then now they're making new Kenner style Batman figures for Batman Forever. But yeah, this is really incredible. And also, I really love the package aesthetic. And I love the look of Val Kilmer's Batman on this. It's like donning the suit that he's donning on the figure. It's supposed to be like the Panther suit, but it's not 100% like the Panther suit. It's more like the concept Keaton style suit, which basically is the Blast Cape Batman look. But we'll get into that a little bit more in detail. But yeah, this figure's package, like overall, very aesthetically pleasing. It's got the typical style of the Batman Forever packages you expect from the 90s, but this is obviously a modern rendition. So there's obviously going to be major differences, so it's not 100% the same thing. And also there's the only exclusive at Target logo right there alongside. And the previous DC logo on the side, which, let's be real, I kind of wish they had the new DC logo up there, the DC Studios logo, but that's one just fine. But yeah, overall, the package design is definitely very nice for this figure. Although on the back, it's pretty basically box standard. There's really nothing much. There's not nearly as, like, I guess, aesthetically pleasing as the previous from 1995, but this will do. Also, not to mention, like, since this right here has got me very excited, I wonder what the heck Spin Master is going to be doing with Superman toys, because I have no clue what it will be. Some saying they're going to be rumored to making Superman figures based on the Christopher Reeve movie. If they are, I'll definitely be picking some up, but then again, it's just only a rumor. I've only gotten Batman and Riddler. I haven't gotten Two-Face and Robin yet. And here's the Riddler in his package. And of course, his package looks really nice. The aesthetic looks really pleasing. The artwork looks great. Though the Riddler figure, I will say, is like, again, I do not have the original one yet. I only have, like, at least the other Riddlers that are based on his movie counterpart a lot more closer to the film. Because I don't really have any of the standard Riddler figures where he had the equipment and stuff strapped to him. So this is the first one I have, and I've already seen comparisons in certain videos that this figure definitely is a little bit different than the previous versions ever released. So this one should be really fun to take a look at. And here's the back of the package as well for this one. Basically the same as the previous, but really the meat and potatoes of this whole video, going over the Batmobile, because now this is my official first Batmobile from Batman Forever that's in scale with the figures I collect, and this is really cool. Just the overall package design, the art style, Batman, or Val Kilmer's Batman, in that more Soner suit inspired Keaton concept art looking Batman suit. I mean, that just looks so dang incredible. It's the same thing up here in this part of the package. And on the side, you have the obvious look of the figure going inside of the vehicle. It may look like he's ejecting out of the dang Batmobile, but that is not the case. Of course, it also shows the length of the Batmobile, which is might as well probably be a long, lengthy Batmobile. And at the other side, basically just another view of the artwork again on the side, just like that. Same thing right there. Here's the back of the package, which basically shows everything. You got the figure going in the Batmobile, the length, and of course the overall actual figure design that's not digitized or anything. basically the actual render of the figure. Also, just to put this in the video before I even get to unpacking these figures, I also got this from Walmart a while ago, which I just started seeing them pack this up a lot, and I couldn't avoid buying it. This was definitely something that I really wanted to buy, and I really like the overall package aesthetic alongside, so this is also nice to include alongside. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these out of their package, and we're going to be taking a closer look at all of these. Well, except for the Batmobile. That'll probably just be in the background. I'm talking about this one, to be exact. Alrighty, so now we got all of them out the package, and yes, the little Batmobile in the background is out of the package right there. But yeah, this is still pretty dang surreal that we got some new Kenner-inspired action figures. I mean, I just really can't help but just express how exciting this really is. It's just very fun, especially considering that this film is now 30 years old, and this is all I have so far. But again, I will be getting Two-Face and Robin later on when I get the chance someday, and I will be making a video about them soon. But let's just focus on these figures. So first, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Batman, and this is the, well, supposedly Panther suit style Batman. I say style because, of course, it's not entirely accurate to the Panther suit, but it's still a close look, and it looks really good. So, of course, the base body of this Batman figure is, of course, the Blast Cape Batman figure. And I've already had a custom figure made just to actually be like this one, but this one is a lot more official. I mean, of course, it's a lot more official. I will still say that the only thing I don't particularly like about this figure is really just the head sculpt. I mean, it's not a bad head sculpt. It's still a decent likeness to Val Kilmer and a decent look. I've already said previously in my other videos on the other Batman Forever figures I was going over that I pretty much like the other head sculpt choice they went with, which is on certain other figures like Night Hunter Batman and Fireguard Batman. I mean, there were quite a few Batman figures that were made that had a different Val Kilmer head that looked a lot more like Val Kilmer's Batman. So, if anything, I will say the head choice, it's obviously the same head as the previous, like, Batman Forever figures in the earlier days of their toy line, but I still prefer the other head sculpt. But this one is just fine, but this one kind of looks a little bit squished over here in certain areas. I mean, it's always been like that when it comes to the production photos that they showed off. So, I mean, in person, doesn't look nearly as bad as those pictures, but at the same time, it definitely still looks like they could have used the same head sculpt that was a lot better than this one. But I don't know, maybe this would be customizable if there was a chance of switching the head out with this one. I'm not sure if it is like that, but then again, can never be too sure. Someone else could do it and I'd be beaten to the punch. But what is pretty unique about this figure is that this is the only Batman this and the other version too, that has additional articulation on the shoulders. So it's not just a swivel joint, it's also a ball joint. And this is the only ball joints they added for the figure. I'm not sure about the other ones. Of course, the other ones are probably in the exact same, like, 360 angle with it just rotate up and down. But this is the only one where we can actually have a lot more mobility. So this is pretty nice. Overall, this is a great looking figure. I mean, it's a great figure in terms of capturing the exact same aesthetic. I mean, it's just remolding the entire thing or taking the same molds and repurposing it for a new looking figure. It's just overall very good looking figure. I really don't have that much issues with it outside of the head sculpt. It's just, this is really good. And not to mention, it's also kind of cool to imagine if this was an official Batman Forever figure that came out 30 years ago, and this is everybody's choice Batman to choose because it's practically almost like the figure's Panther suit, but not entirely. These areas that would be red on the Blast Cape Batman are now painted to silver. But it would have been better if it was just plain black. But overall, it does give the suit a cool look to it. So, if anything, don't really have that much of an issue with that. Oh yeah, another thing I like about this, the cloth cape. Basic, not particularly any great. It's a typical standard, like, you know, slim Spin Master capes. But this is the more good fabric cape. So, it's not really that bad paper one. So, this is really cool. It's also really nice that it has a permanently attached cape, so it can't get rid of the cape. Even though I would have preferred having an additional cape to be removable, but this is just a lot better in my opinion. I really like this. So overall, great figure, a good recreation of the original Blast Cape Batman, but now turned into a straight up legit basic, but very good looking Batman. Again, would have chose a better head sculpt for this figure. And of course, the one that came with the Batmobile. This is supposed to be based on the Sonar suit, hence the different color. It's the same figure But what I like about this one is obviously the bat symbol being painted like this. And it's also another thing I like about this and the other one. It's a movie accurate bat symbol. Literally my favorite bat symbol is now like on the actual Kenner inspired figures and not just basically these typical standard 89 Batman logo where it's like just the same logo that doesn't have the same stylistic punch as this Batman logo from the Schumacher films. My personal opinion, obviously I love this bat symbol a lot more, so it's nice to see it on a Batman figure. I mean, it would have been a lot better if they actually made a straight up Sonar Suit Batman figure, which I actually do have a custom figure that I have yet to actually show in a video. So just taking a look at the figure before I even do that. So again, it's got a nice silver or at least dark silver paint scheme that's reflective to match how it looks like on screen when it comes to the Sonar suit. The suit itself is basically just a repaint of the previous Batman figure. Again, like I said, nothing really special there, but it's still kind of nice overall. It's got the same articulation points, the same permanently attached cloth cape. Overall, very good figure, a very good variant that comes with the Batmobile. And I'm going to go ahead and compare it to the other Batman figures I have in the collection. I will say later on a little bit in the video because I'm just trying to take a look at all these figures beforehand. So of course, next figure going up here is the Riddler, Jim Carrey's iconic Riddler. And obviously this is a lot different than the previous version. I don't even own the original version of this particular figure, and this one used to have some accessories sculpted onto him at least, kind of like the Two-Face figure. They also did the same thing with the Two-Face figure. I actually like that doesn't have much like accessories sculpted onto his hand this time. He has basically much more freedom to like just basically be a separate standard figure without anything attached to him. He definitely has some of the same like aesthetic choices and looks of the original figure. It's an obvious, it's obviously a nice figure, but again, his scale is a little bit off because they made him a little bit bigger than the previous versions. I don't even own the previous version, but I do own the Jim Carrey movie accurate looking versions of the character. So I will be comparing that a little bit later on in the video. But what I really love about this is the box, like the little TV screen, is now the the box that Edward Nygma created. It's actually a movie accurate look. I mean, I don't even know if this whole suit, obviously this whole suit isn't entirely movie accurate, but I just like that they added that detail that it was actually showing the device that the Riddler uses from the film rather than something else that was already probably plastered on the original figure. And again, it's got a nice likeness. It's not even a likeness that you can tell that's Jim Carrey or not, but at the same time, it looks pretty nice. And I will also say that the red hair he has, it's not entirely like the red hair he has in the final film. So it's more like it's a more natural red hair before he eventually turns into the Riddler and changes hair to a straight up bright colored neon orange. This is a little different than expected. I really do think this figure is kind of nice, even if I do have a little bit of an issue on the scaling. I mean, like I said, he's supposed to be on the same scale as Batman, but he looks like he's taller than Batman from this frame. If I could try, yeah, it looks like he's almost a little bit taller than Batman, at least. But again, that's it for the figures. Really nice figures, and it's really good to own them all. So let me move them aside a little bit, and let's go ahead and take a look at the Batmobile. The iconic 1995 Batmobile. This is so cool. Though the only problem I do have with this particular one is that it's not as gimmick heavy as it should be. It's basically kind of like the same Batmobile from Spin Master's Flash line, where basically it's just nothing is really action heavy on the vehicle. It's basically just a standard vehicle where you could just put your figure in. It doesn't really do much. That's basically a bummer. But overall, the overall look of the vehicle, it matches exactly how it is from the film. Now, of course, there is this one thing that they didn't do, which is obviously the twin blades or the twin wings at the back or whatever. Like, it's just basically all just a single wing. It's actually supposed to divide into two separate pieces. But overall, it's fairly film accurate. This is what I like about this Batmobile entirely compared to the other versions. I mean, I never really owned the original counter version, which was littered with a lot of action features, which was cool. But this one is a lot more movie accurate. It's got the headlights right here. Can't help but really adore how great this Batmobile really looks, and that I finally have this one in person. And yeah, and also the bat signals on the wheels are painted in. though they can't just, they're not exactly like the film where they supposedly stay in place while the wheels rotate. So they all just, well, it's all rotating right here, but it's all one piece. That's what basically it is. And it doesn't light up as well. So we don't have any light up action features, but there is some translucent blue over here. So something tells me this could be modified with a bit of customizing to putting up an LED inside, or like any blue LEDs inside that particular area, and then actually straight up lighting up that area so you can actually have a light up feature to match how it is in the film, which would be really, really cool to see people do that, because they have been modifying the McFarlane Toys Batmobile. So they could do the same with this if possible. And that would be cool to see. So again, the aesthetic, the overall detail, it matches how it is in the film. That's all I got to really say about that part. Is this very long exhaust pipe over here, and just again, this has the most stylistic look of a Batmobile, and I grow to appreciate it a lot more and more, and it just becomes another great Batmobile in my opinion. I just really love this. And also the canopy opens like this, it slides open just like how it should slide open like in the film. There isn't really nothing special inside the Batmobile. I mean, it's still got some nice designs on it, but it doesn't have any decals or stickers. Practically basic, and it's just a one-seater when it could have been a two-seater. But yeah, and of course a Batman figure can go in. I think I might as well go with well, never mind. Let's just go ahead and place Batman in here. He fits in there nicely, just like that. Okay, got him in. Close the canopy, and that's how he goes. Okay, so now we're going to compare the action figures. I swear this is actually surprising. My original custom Blast Cape Batman, which is this guy right here, he's actually much more taller than any of these figures. It is so weird, but it's actually quite nice that it's a lot taller. And my custom Val Kilmer Batman right here, which is the more movie accurate Panther suit, which I still need to change the belt color on that. But my more movie accurate suit is almost in the exact same scale as this guy and that. I mean, wow, that's very surprising. I never thought that it would be in that same scale. I thought this would literally just be the same scale, but no, this is a lot different than I expected. You know what? This makes me like the Spin Master figures a lot more, because now both of these figures right here, my definitive custom Val Kilmer and the official new Val Kilmer Batman, both these figures can go hand in hand in the same scale. And that's really nice. And to compare Sonar Suit Batman with my other Sonar Suit Batman choices, I have my custom Sonar Suit Batman, which is obviously much more black suited. I don't know if you want to call it film accurate or not, but personally, I think the Sonar Suit was supposed to be all black, but they have it in a metallic look, so that makes it look a lot more metallic on screen. So I think maybe the suit itself is obviously on screen supposed to be black with the metallic look, but that is basically my custom Sonar Batman. It's like an easy custom that I wanted to make. And not to mention, I actually did have a video planned for this guy way long before, but now I'm just gonna have to cancel that all out because I'm showing it now, and that's basically my figure right here. Anyway, so right next to that is obviously Recon Hunter Batman, which is another Sonar Suit Batman choice that I like to go with. Even though it's not 100% accurate to the Sonar Suit itself, it looks very nice and has the same head sculpt that matches his Sonar Suit look. So if anything, these are some really good choices. Of course, this figure is an all-out repaint of the same standard card Spin Master Batman figure, but again, they all look really nice together. Also, one more comparison with the standard Batman. We have the Dark Knight Collection 1990s Batman and the Superpowers McFarlane's Dark Suit Batman. I mean, it's really, really cool that it's in the same scale. There's like no real out of scale proportions or anything. It's in the same scale. So that's really, really nice. And here's Riddler, because these are the only two Riddlers I have. And like I said, the scaling is a little bit bigger than expected on these guys. I mean, it's not entirely small though, because it's actually I'm actually more surprised. It's actually in the same scale. It's just that it's much better on the original Kenner figures. It's just that this guy right here is a little too tall. I'm assuming the other version is just in the same scale as these guys over here. I mean, that's just how I'm going to go with. I did see that one video with the comparison. So just to be clear that this figure right here is definitely a lot taller. Even the green color on his suit is a little bit different than the green on this guy. So that's one thing to talk about right there. So for Batmobile comparison, I got the McFarlane Toys Superpowers Batmobile right here. And here's the Spin Master Batmobile right here. And then here's the Toy Biz 1989 Batmobile right next to it. They all look good in scale, so they all fit very nicely to each other. Also, still kind of nice that I finally got these Hot Wheel versions of these vehicles. Makes me wonder if Spin Master will ever do a Batmobile in the same scale as this for the next retro line, if there ever is one. Also, I don't want to make this video too long about other Batman Forever figures, but there was, again, like I said, I was going to make a video on this custom Sonar Suit Batman figure that I made, and the figure that was basically based off of, and that was basically Night Flight Batman right here, which is one of the few figures that is perfect for a base like custom Sonar Suit Batman that's more film accurate. And it's quite a nice figure, to be honest. Like, just the overall look of the figure, it's very good. Now, of course, this is obviously, like, I've reviewed this sculpt before, which is basically the Power Beacon Batman figure, but that one had a little bit of a retextualized outfit. Like, of course, it's made for the light up action feature, and the bat signal was changed, and there was a hole in its back, and this one doesn't have any of those action features. It's primarily just the Sonar suit look without a cape. And of course, the paint job on the suit itself looks pretty nice. The bat symbol is entirely painted orange, though it could have been a lot better if it wasn't painted, but it's painted on there. And the suit's belt, which is also painted silver, has a little bit of an orange bat symbol right down there. And the action features where its big glider cape right here, or whatever it is, there's a lever at the back right here. Pull that down. It was supposed to lift that up like that. Which I'm not even going to try millions of tries to doing it right entirely, but that is how this actually is supposed to look. As you've seen in the commercial, that was also alongside the Talking Ridley figure, and then another deluxe Batman figure that lights up as alongside. And the overall look just looks pretty cool. It's got this nice bat-shaped helmet right here. I mean, it's definitely got the shape of a robotic-looking bat as what it's supposed to look like. It just looks really nice. That's all I got to really say about this. Also, the accessory, while ridiculous, is pretty cool, too. This bat buzzsaw right here. That's what I would have to call it, the bat buzzsaw. Don't know what the heck Batman's going to do with the buzzsaw, but he might use it for some utility purposes. But, yeah, overall, this figure is pretty nice. And, again, it's a perfect base for this particular custom. Though I had to buy an extra Power Beacon Batman for the arms and legs and the head because it did not feel like painting the entire figure. I just basically used the torso of the Night Flight Batman figure. So, yeah, overall, they're the same figure sculpt and all that, but it's just something that I needed to point out that that's how I made my Sonar custom Batman figure. So that is going to end up this long video about the first few Spin Master DC Retro Collection Batman Forever action figures. These are some really, really fun, good figures. I am glad that they made some more Batman Forever figures, though again, I'm wishing for a few things. I'm wishing for a 4-inch in scale movie accurate Batman Forever toy line alongside like the figures that they released previously for the 85th anniversary of Batman last year. I was still wishing for that. And also another thing I didn't really touch upon is that these particular figures don't really have accessories, so it's kind of missing a little bit of that like extra spark that could make these figures a lot more entertaining. But the prices on these figures are very affordable. $8.99 each for the action figures and $20 for the Batmobile itself alongside that figure. Well, it comes with the figures inside the canopy. But seriously, it's just very, very pleasing that Spin Master had went out their way to finally make a retro line of action figures based on the Kenner toys in the 90s. This is really exciting for this year, considering that it is now 30 years of Batman Forever. I will continue to freaking enjoy Batman Forever as long as I can, because this movie is severely underrated and such a really good Batman movie and a good Batman story, in my personal opinion. I love this movie. Getting merchandise based on this movie, and also Batman and Robin, even though how that movie is not particularly the best, but I still enjoyed that one alongside. It's always nice to see more merchandise of that particular film, Batman Forever, what I'm talking about. So yeah, I will be getting Robin and Two-Face to take a look at soon, later on, when I get the chance to finding them when they're on shelves again, because I didn't get to find them right now. And plus, I already got a bunch of other stuff to take a look at later on. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will be seeing you guys later.